I guess it's fair to say you've spent most of your life in Washington, D.C. at this point.
Probably so, yeah.
And most of your life around politics, broadly speaking.
Broadly speaking.
Why?
Yeah, but not electoral politics, because I distinguish between politics and policy. I'm really more a policy
You've been asked
guy.
about elective politics.
Oh, yeah, I've been asked, and I've been asked to be on tickets, and I've gotten lots of compliments. But
why did you always say no?
I didn't. Well, I had specifically. First of all, I don't like what it is you have to do to run, and you have to be good at it. You have to act like you're enjoying it. You either have to enjoy it or act like you're enjoying it. And I remember when I talked.
You could fake everything except sincerity?
No, I could fake everything except having a good time at a reception.
Yeah.
I remember Phil Graham said to me, he was trying to get me to support him when he was running for president. He said, "William, I have 150 receptions the next 5 weeks, and I can't wait to get to them." I thought, my gosh, I'd rather sew my face to the floor than go to 150 receptions. And then a distinguished former senator told me once, you got to go out there and you got to talk to these committee men. And when they say, Bill Bennett, I've been listening to you. And I think 2 + 2 = 5. You can't say, no, it equals 4. You got to say, that's a heck of an interesting idea. Yes. So I just didn't think. And then I was asked by, well, it's public, Bob Dole asked me if I'd consider being his running mate. And I said, why me? And he said, Eastern, Catholic, intellectual. I said, I'm so touched. It's so personal. I just didn't.
He caught your soul.
Yeah, I said, go with Kemp. And he said, I'm not going with that guy. He did, of course. Yeah. And then George W. Bush asked me about what he didn't ask me to be, but he said what I'd like to seriously consider. And again, I just didn't want to do it. This is a skill and an art, and you have to bring a certain degree of love to it. You have to enjoy doing this. Reagan liked it. These guys like it, and you have to like it, or you show. Well, some people do. My wife says I'm a terrible liar. I can't act like I'm having a good time if I'm not having a good time. It shows, my mouth curls. It's bad. So I would be a very bad, I think, retail.
Well, but do you have to like it or just tolerate it? I mean, don't you just have to tolerate it to get to the part where you make a difference in public life?
I don't know. Maybe you do, but I just never. Some of the things I've taken with me are, to do this, to run for president. Look at these primaries. Look at these debates. Look at these endless things.
It's a terrible process. No one would have invented this process.
Holmes says you've got to want to do it and want to do it all the time. And I just wouldn't want to do it. I loved my jobs. I loved being Secretary of Education. I loved being drug czar. Even chairman of NEH was fine. And yeah, those were 3.
No, and you did a lot of good in those positions.
I did some good.
Do you feel like you've let the American people down?
No. In what?
In not standing for office?
No, there's tons of good. You know how many great people we have out there? Maybe people may not like
Name 2.
Marco Rubio and Paul Ryan.
The ones who aren't running, yes.
No, they're not running, but they will run.
Right.
And there are more.
I hope you're right.
Scott Walker, Bobby Jindal. There are tremendous people out there. And Susana Martinez. So they're just, we have a great bench in this party. We have some terrific young people. And and they're better. They'll be much better at this than I would be. And it's time. I think it's time for a generational shift too in this party.
You certainly haven't let the country down in all of your other capacities and activities, including as author. We've been talking about the book of Man, your most recent book. Do you have, in general, a prescription for restoring manliness in American life?
To restore manliness, we need to be more manly, and we need to encourage young men to be manly. And we do that, I think, by encouraging them to do manly things and holding them to doing manly things. And the most important thing about a man is a sense of responsibility, taking that responsibility, if not in full, for support of wife and child. For example, just a simple moral proposition. Is it wrong to father children out of wedlock? Is it wrong to hit and run? Absolutely it is, and men should be brought to account on that. You've got a consensus on that in most of society, but not in public policy, really. You really don't. And there are lots of people who are regarded as celebrities and heroes and looked up to who do this kind of thing all the time. Charles Murray just said in this recent book, something I heard years ago, but we need to do more of preaching what we practice, and we needed to do that a little more full-throatedly. But the restoration, I guess the one that gets me up in the morning is the restoration of an appreciation of our country and our principles. You know, Muslims have the Quran and others have their books. We have ours. We have our Declaration of Independence. We have our Constitution. We have the Federalist Papers. And I think we remain alien to ourselves if we don't know them, if we don't understand what's there. And one of the reasons I wrote my history books is because I know that our young people don't know this, and they need to know it. Every culture has a canon, and this is our canon, and it's too little known. And in terms of its power and its importance and its superiority, moral and political superiority, you know, Manchu, Muscovite, or any other system just can't stack up with what it has done for people. I think it was Lino Grogli who said, in the story of inhumanity and misery that is human history, the American achievement is high and unique. And that's right. We've done some terrible things. We've done awful things. We've tried to correct them. But we are still the last best hope of Earth. My favorite Reagan story is that story, and it tells you about what we need to recover. We need to recover some here of what others see in us over there. Reagan tells the story of that Navy destroyer in the South China Sea, and they saw guys in a little rickety boat, and so they sent out a little skiff to see what was going on, and these guys were yelling at the naval officers, and they couldn't make them out. As they got close, they heard them saying, "Help us, Freedom Man, help us." They saw the United States uniform and called it Freedom Man. That's what it is around the world. We need to have it recognized as such at home.
Well, you've been a very good and faithful keeper of America's tablets, and I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.